My name is Andrea and I'm creating a series of videos here on YouTube sharing my experience as a volunteer in the past 2 years. I volunteered in 13 countries and this video is about how volunteering helped me save money during my trip. If you are interested in volunteering and thinking of potentially doing it in your next trip, make sure you check the rest of this playlist for more valuable information about volunteer exchanges. So obviously one of the benefits of volunteering, but not the only benefit of volunteering, is the economics behind it, right? You do save a lot of money when you volunteer because basically one of the things that is included in the experience is the accommodation. So you don't pay money for your accommodation, you will be exchanging your time, energy and skills for it. But if you're like me, you have time, you don't have a lot of money, this is a great deal for you, right? Accommodation tends to be as well the most expensive part of the trip, aside from maybe long-haul flights, so it does really help make traveling a bit more accessible and cheaper. Aside from that, in some experiences you might have meals included, so you might have breakfast included or even breakfast, lunch and dinner. So I just finished an experience at an equestrian center and I was living in the house of the family who runs the center. And they offered me all the meals. So I spent 5 weeks there. I didn't spend a single pound because I had the accommodation and the meals included, and also I was living the experience of my life looking after horses in the farm. Particularly in hospitality businesses, you might also get discounts or even free tours, tickets for tourist attractions. Sometimes hostels and hotels, they want you to be able to give recommendations to the guests. So they will let you go on their tours for free so you can sell the tour for the guests. This happened, for example, in Bosnia when I was volunteering at a hostel there. The host took me on one of their private tours. This also happened in Portugal. I went on a trip to Sintra, which is next to Lisbon, for free. So it really does offer some free or even discounted entertainment options for you. Something that happens as well, and it's not often talked about, is that usually a hostel, they will have a network of other hostels in the region that they will be kind of friends with. So for example, when I was volunteering in Croatia, in Zagreb, my host arranged me 50% off in a hostel in Split, which is a city by the sea, a beautiful hostel, and I only paid half price because after the volunteer experience finished, my host emailed her friend and then I managed to get a massive discount on my stay. I have also seen volunteers going back to the hosts to stay for one night or two and get a discounted stay as well. If your host is maybe part of a chain of hostels, you might even get discounts to stay in the other properties of the chain around the world. With all these discounts, I think it's pretty clear that when you volunteer, you are able to travel for longer. I have been on the road for 2 years and although I have a job, I work remotely and I have a salary, I haven't had to pay for rent in the past 2 years practically. So basically, it allows me to save money while I travel, which is insane. But if you're just a backpacker and you're just traveling, you're not working, it might allow you to travel for longer. And it also makes expensive places more accessible. So for example, I'm in England now, which has the pound. It's a country with a high cost of living. But when I volunteered here in the equestrian center, as I mentioned, I hadn't had to pay a penny. So not only makes you travel for longer, but it also allows you to visit places that you may not be able to afford it otherwise. That's it from me. Leave any comments or questions down below. If you're ready to sign up to Worldpackers, the platform I've used in the past 2 years to volunteer, the link is below. And I also suggest you watch the other videos for more information on my past experience as a volunteer and a nomad.